MJ. All right, MJ Ortiz, Bob Trait. We are going to unbox the Ghost Rider. It's been pretty contentious here in the office. I love it. Bob hates it.
This is just instant reaction. We're just looking right at it, and I hope that once we open it, I can be wowed. I would like to say that at one point I did have the Matty Collector Fisto figure, and I thought, all right, I got it in a deal, and I was like, all right, I got Fisto. I opened it up. That figure was awesome. Like the way you could, pose him, his detail, all of his weapons and stuff.
So when you finally got fisted, is when you
right. We went there with that joke. Shame on you. Shame on you. Of course, yesterday we had a shocking joke.
No. Yeah, it was very shocking.
It was very shocking.
Just like no.
Oh no, yeah. Shocking.
All right, so Evan,
our wives watch this. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Yeah. Evan, impressions? Because Paul, another one of the junkies, he did not like it as well, but he's a big motorcycle guy, so.
Right.
I think Ghost Rider looks cool. I think there's a lot of detail to him, but the motorcycle, I see what Bob is saying about like the engine part looks like there could be a lot more detail to it, and it looks like they went cheap on it.
And the thing they brought up at Toy Fair at the Hasbro press event was that there was a lot of flack that they got from a lot of the Hasbro fans that the original Ghost Rider that was released as a Marvel Legend didn't come with a bike. Seems kind of pointless. You got Ghost Rider, hello? So they said from this point on, Ghost Rider will always be released with a bike, which I thought was really cool. And I'm kind of shocked that they did Johnny Blaze.
Yeah.
I thought they might have gone with the car, because we've already done the Black Series figures, which of course are owned by Hasbro. We have Sand Speeders, we have a Dewback coming, and I think the Ghost Rider with the car, I'd like to see that as a Comic-Con exclusive or a HasCon exclusive or something like that. I think that'd be cool.
I would really love to see what is now the Space Ghost Rider from the ongoing Thanos series. I guess it's Old Man Thanos or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So, but he is, he's the Space Ghost Rider, and he's actually, spoiler alert, a couple weeks ago, he is Frank Castle. So in the future, Frank Castle becomes Ghost Rider. I think, again, I mean, that leans perfectly to an exclusive. You get a bike, you get another figure, shorter run. I like it. So before we get into the actual unboxing of this, stay tuned after the unboxing, because we are going to talk Toys R Us liquidation.
Right. We'll link that as a separate video on the YouTube page where this will be reposted.
Okay?
Cody S. says, yo.
What up, Cody? How you doing, man?
Thanks for watching, man.
So, obviously, you guys have seen the front of it. The back is pretty cool. Gives you a couple shots of the bike that nobody likes but me.
No, show the back.
Ghost Rider. We're getting there. So, you've got a couple shots of the bike. I honestly kind of dig this. I mean, they have enough real estate on the back, so they kind of have a shot of of Ghost Rider on the bike that they've got kind of staged here with some dirt underneath, some branches in the back. I mean, it's the type of toy photography that we see.
Yeah, this is, I don't want to say this is standard from Hasbro. Their standard is very high when it comes to the posing of their figures, the display of the figure. But as I look at that bike on the back, that doesn't seem like the bike that I'm going to get when I open this box in about a minute. I don't know. I want to be wowed. I want to be wowed. So let's see what happens here.
So one other thing I do want to point out, and we will get more into it when we talk about the Avengers wave that we're going to open on Monday, the Thanos Avengers movie. I'm a big fan. I keep all my stuff in the box. I've said it a few times. And so when I go to display, a lot of my displays are boxes and side art. And I love the side art. And so this is a very, very, no, we're not ripping this.
Okay.
I really dig the side art on this. I mean, this is meant to be displayed. There's only one way to display this, would be outward, but we will talk about it more. I really like what they're starting to do with the side. Like, they're really kind of stepping up their side game. So I've been opening the last couple ones, so I'm going to give this one over to Bob.
Cool. Yeah, I gotta admit, I like the side artwork here. And let's remember that as much as we have the movie properties of Marvel, the television properties, it all comes back to the comic book, and that's what we're highlighting here, where they are, with this artwork here. And I really appreciate that, and it reminds us all that that's where this all started from, is from that panel art form. So as we are not going to rip open this box, the idea is that you want to still display it. If you can get it back in there as nice as this can be. Problem with Marvel Legends is sometimes I can already see rubber bands here. We may not get it back in there as nice as it is now. But we're going to try. So we're going to be very delicate here. We're going to cut the tape there. We're only going to go through one side.
So while Bob's working this out, I'm going to ask him a question as well. So everybody knows Disney owns Marvel now. They have been very smart about the way that they tie in their properties. All of the cartoon series that you've seen now for the last few years, Avengers, they've brought in the Inhumans, they've brought in Thanos. They're getting you to know the characters. So with that being said, would you have seen this Ghost Rider figure if Ghost Rider didn't become a character on S.H.I.E.L.D.? I mean, Ghost Rider's a popular figure, but
I would say in a lot of ways, I think you're right. I think without Ghost Rider being on the series and being part of the new, I don't know, you want to say like upper echelon of people being aware of a character, probably not. Especially because this is Johnny Blaze. Now, we are doing, I think what they're doing is they're testing the waters, kind of like what we heard McFarlane talk about how they release product. Yeah, I think if you would have put out the current Ghost Rider as a figure with or without the car, I don't think it would have sold as well. But with this, you're getting the collectors are going to buy them, which establishes that, okay, that character is valuable in the marketplace. People are going to want it. Plus, you're actually getting a Marvel Legend who has a vehicle. There are not many. I think we know that Black Widow is going to have a motorcycle. Is there a Captain America one with a motorcycle? I don't even think so. And that would be, you think that would have been obvious, a World War II bike.
you know what, guys? We're a little weak in this, so if you're watching, let us know.
Yeah.
Were there other Legend vehicles that we've missed?
Yeah, like a Quinjet or I guess Silver Surfer technically would have a vehicle. But let's get back to the box. As we've seen with a lot of the Marvel packaging, we have a logo that's usually on the top that identifies it when you open a fresh case. We don't have that here on Ghost Rider. However, it is, if you can, Evan, if you can see it, it's actually here inside the grate. I'm not going to take it out because it's in pretty nice shape so far. I haven't ripped anything yet.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
So it's Ghost Rider. It's his head. Very cool. I like that a lot. Actually, that's a nice piece of art.
I like the top, too. Why don't you show them the top?
Yeah, the top you can actually, it lets I think it lets light down in here because Johnny Blaze's head has the flames. So this was I hate to bring up another company as we're talking about Hasbro, but McFarlane talked to us about that on their on our
color match stuff, right?
No, it was they let more light into the box to actually show it off. So a lot of times, it's dark, it gets, you can't really see it, the colors don't pop. McFarlane showed us on some of their packaging how they were allowing light to come in from the side. So it wasn't just straightforward light, it was kind of light hitting it from two different angles, showing off the colors a little bit more. So that's cool, and you're right, MJ, I wouldn't even have thought of that until you brought it up. We have this flame light coming in. We have a question.
No, Ruben N is saying that Wolverine is getting a bike as well.
That is very true.
Which Wolverine? We talking Old Man Logan?
We're talking Patch. It's Patch.
Oh, wow.
Well, it's one of the heads is Patch. So it's Logan, no jacket. They made a joke about that. Wearing a tank top. I cleaned that up. See, I'm being clean here today.
Okay.
And they did show that at Toy Fair. We actually have images of that in our Marvel press room, the Hasbro site. So sorry, I should have brought that up, but I meant before this.
Yeah, no,
before
great.
this.
I would have liked that if they would have did like a nice brown leather jacket for that, because then I could have ripped it off and used it for my Cyclops.
Well, you probably could take one off of one of the old Toy Biz ones, if there was one that had it, and just stick it right on it. Push his sleeves up.
I'm now on the hunt.
No, see, you collect DC.
Just stop.
The 90s X-Men, yo.
So here we go. Oh, look, I too am supporting DC Comics. I just wanted to throw that out to the guy that said we had no DC love. And here I am, wearing this all day as my badge of honor.
I always
a good
represent.
DC movie.
Let's be good.
All right. You want to pop the...
I'm going to pop.
The figure
We're
first?
going to do the figure first.
Good comment. Okay.
Now, already...
That's a cool figure.
I really... All right, I'm going to show this off. This is my first instant reaction here. Evan, I don't know if you can zoom in. His neck joint is all flames. So it goes straight up through. So it's really showing off all the flames instead of just being like a white, skeleton net.
And I'm noticing actually too. I didn't realize we got that on the wheels. So we'll
Yeah,
have to
you want to
check
bring that in there? I really. You pull that out of there. Okay. I really like that. That was like boom right away. Like I like the flaming skull head. That's really cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna have this.
Whip. He smelt it.
Ooh, I'm digging the boots too. Digging the boots. Okay, so it's more the bike chain than a whip. I thought it was a whip, but it is
Okay.
more the bike chain. So I don't know if you can see that, but this is very cool. The rubber is painted here, and then it goes right to this clear plastic. I'm sure if we scrape this off, it would all be orange like this. But that's really really cool. I don't.
Check this
It'd be
one out.
cool if we could make it. If we could. Too bad we couldn't interlock it, and then kind of put it around him while he's
Yeah.
riding the bike.
Yeah.
Because then you could always just.
Yeah.
Sorry, Hasbro, but is
That would have been a great idea.
you could have done this, and then
Hasbro Labs, hit us up.
yeah, you could have done that, and the flame would have been behind him. That would have been cool.
Very
Here,
cool.
sorry.
Oh, no,
Put
no.
on the bike here.
So, as he's pulling the bike out, because I think that's going to take a little while. First impressions on the figure. I do love this clear, translucent neck for sure. But this is the Ghost Rider outfit that I think of when I think Ghost Rider. You know what I mean? It's got the great kind of neckline. I love the pinstriping that they've done throughout in that blue.
Pop-
That
it pops.
really pops
Yeah.
for sure. I dig
Pardon
the
me.
the belt, very nice as well. But what I got to tell you on again, this is a $40 figure with the bike. Okay, so you would normally pay $20 for this figure, maybe with a small figure for a leg or something as a Build-A-Figure piece. The articulation on this one is great. I mean, you've got a joint on the hand, okay? It swivels as well. You've got an elbow joint. You've got a bicep with a, what'd you call that? Is that a swivel?
I guess it's a swivel.
So you can swivel here from the bicep. The arm itself has a pitch and the normal swivel, which is really, really cool. The leg swivels that way, back and forth. You've got a knee joint and below the knee as well. So, I mean, this is made to be posed on the bike in, as crazy as you can think. So,
Brian S. says the jaw opens and closes.
wait. Oh, yes, it does. So,
Really?
that's awesome. So Brian, thank you for that info. One thing I will say, I've seen this now a couple times. A couple of us, myself, Evan, and Paul, were able to make it to NJ Collectors Con if anybody was there. So we got to see a couple of these. I can notice that his jaw looks like he got hit by Rocky, so he's just a little knocked in. I'm sure that's an easy fix, but it is just, first impression. His jaw's just a little janky for me. But
I would argue that I think Ghost Rider is just janky in general. I think
Did
it's a ghost face. Like he has a
did
skeleton
you just
face.
say that Ghost Rider's janky?
I'm saying like his face is a skeleton. It's not like there's anything holding it together.
Oh wow, there's a lot of flame pieces. Okay, yeah, Bob's going to town over here. Other way,
I
back.
don't think so.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I know, but I thought this was like like a lowrider bike or something.
It doesn't mean the hand grips are in front of you.
I know, but it's not fitting.
Yeah, let me try.
Because you're not
Cody
a bike guy.
Cody says that he likes the
doesn't
Ghost
look
Rider
right.
and bike, but they need to make the bike from the first movie.
Yeah, this bike is
Are we-
definitely.
Are we
not
talking? Are we talking?
the bike
Nicolas
design.
Cage.
Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider. Okay, so we're in. Not to make him look bad or anything.
Well, this came off.
Yeah, I like it without the skull in the beginning, or in the front, and we'll go ahead and throw that on. Bob will
Are these
start.
supposed to go?
No, because I think what you have is you probably have this is like the standard bike, and then this is like flame on. So this is when he
Right.
when he transforms to Ghost Rider, the bike goes with him. So I'm assuming you put this, and then most likely your flame
these
pieces
kind
on
of
at that
attached
point.
here in the back. There's little like spots to put to like attach these, but it doesn't seem like they actually fit in there. So that goes in there. So there's a little, inside the tailpipe, you insert this into there, and then there's a little peg here that you have to get it to join into this part.
Okay. That's pretty
These
cool.
were rubber banded on. I cut them off because I thought they were holding it in, but maybe we should not have cut them off. But they were those really, cheesy rubber bands that you're
No,
supposed to.
you definitely have to.
There's a comment about the rubber bands and cotton ball.
Yeah, Brian said don't forget about the rubber bands around the flame effects on the bike. I
Ah.
didn't notice for a while and had them on display.
Okay.
Okay. Is there a kickstand?
There has to be a
Yeah.
kickstand. Yeah. Okay.
There is a kickstand.
Okay.
Okay. The flames don't seem to want to stay into their little pegs. They're a really rubbery type of plastic. Can you see that, Evan? Can you see that? We holding that down too low?
Yeah.
There is a kickstand. We found it right there. So that's nice because the bike wasn't standing on its own. And the tires are rubbery.
Yeah, I like that, and I like that the tires are that color as well. Yellow, translucent as well.
Yeah. I guess these go in the handlebars.
Yeah, that's got to be handlebars.
But
I'll go inside maybe.
Evan took where'd the box go?
I didn't take the box.
Evan took the box. All right. I've had a lot
Oh
of...
no, they go in
under the
on
wheels.
on the forks in the front.
Go up here.
Yeah.
This is very complicated.
Yeah. All right, so first impressions on the bike as Bob's trying to put it together. I hate to say it. I have to agree. They could have did a little bit more, especially in the engine. The rest of the bike, I think, is done really well. I mean,
Wait.
you on there yet?
I'm almost on there.
I got to be honest. I think we're better off showing this without the.
Yeah.
We'll let everybody check it out with the flame accessories, and then we'll pop those off so we could talk bike.
I might have gotten it here. They're a little difficult. They're a little nimble. But yeah, as far as accessories go, Evan, can you see this?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to turn it around. So here we can see how they're all attached with the screws, which is funny because you probably could have worked the screws into the actual conception of how the engine was going to look. I wish I knew engines better, but you probably could have placed them in certain spots. This is a bit of a rubbery piece here for the seat, which is nice. But, he rides, this is a Harley, right? He rides a Harley?
Believe so.
Yeah, so, I don't know. It seems to just, we've got a lot of detail here on his face.
Yeah, I think
and
that's the. I
not
think
the
that's
detail
the
in
problem.
the engine.
Yeah, I'm going to pull these off just for the sake of talking about it. These stay on pretty well. I think the problem that they picked up on earlier that didn't really bother me until now that I'm looking at it is that they went so far to do the detail. I mean, the grips are stippled. The brakes are done really well. You've got a rear view mirror. You've got, a nice little speedometer on there. Even down to the wheels. You've got the spokes, you've got the forks. The wheels are done really, really well. You've got the kickstand for his feet, the pipes. Everything is done really, really well.
You even
The
have
seat.
flames that you can take on
Yeah.
and off.
But then you get to what should have been the coolest part of this bike, which to me would have been the engine. And it's like they went 90% of the way there and then just gave up when they got to the engine. I mean, if they could do the rest of the detail that they put on these little portions of the bike, to just go in there, do a little bit more black wash.
Maybe just make it a dirty engine, or just
Yeah.
weather it, and that's it. That it looks like a brand new piece that you take the blast like shield off of a Millennium Falcon, and you're like, oh, okay, this is sort of an engine under here, but then you put it back on because you're never really going to look at it again.
It looks just like kind of a hunk of plastic when they could have done something, I think,
Right. Well,
a little bit more.
again, he talked about all the detail on the bike, and if you're going to go so far as to sculpt his face, make his jaw open, and do the neck in flames, then why not make the engine at the same level as this figure? This is a fantastic figure. He's got this whip. He's got boots. The boots are even he's even got heels on his boots, and they're motorcycle boots. They're great, and he's even got little belts here on the side, to tighten them up, where you could have easily have skipped that as a detail, and instead they added it. So, I think this is one of the things where the figure is clearly for the collector. in how good it looks. However, the bike, which is the selling point as well as the price point, is for kids.
Well, and that's so that would be my question to everybody. They can't go too crazy with this at the $40 price point, right? So if you got a Marvel Legends, I don't know, Black Series, I'm just going to call it that, and this was a $100 figure, but they really went all out on the bike itself, and then maybe a few more accessories for Ghost Rider,
A
removable
Johnny Blaze head.
Johnny Blaze head, the human version. Would you buy it? I mean, that's maybe not 100, but someplace over 50. I mean, at $40, I think you're getting a hell of a lot for $40 here. I mean, I would all day long pay that $40 again. I think it's really, really awesome. One thing I will say is when he's riding it, you notice the engine issues a lot less for sure.
Yeah, because everything's drawn right to the face.
Meant to be posed.
Front view looks better.
Yeah.
Side
Yeah.
view still doesn't look right.
But again, I think, articulation great, sculpt great. I think they dropped the ball with the engine, but I would say, overall impression, I'd give this an 8 out of 10.
I'd go somewhere more like a 7 out of 10. Like, I love the figure. It's just the bike. I would probably if I were taking pictures of it, I'd probably throw a lot of smoke towards the bike and just have him emerging on it with the, we got the handlebars here. He even has like the fingers, like he should have one hand on the brake, which is great about that. Each finger in each of his hands here has that extra little reach. So it's like he's ready to grab the brake when he needs it. And then they just did a straight piece of, clear silver here where they could have put like a white sticker. They could have done a little inside joke. They could have put Johnny Blaze's face on the mirror. Well, any kind of little thing like that. And Marvel's notorious for doing little things like that. And I'm surprised it's not there.
There's this metal piece here, if you can see, and it almost makes me think, like, I thought at first, was it a magnet
Yeah, that's
or
what I kept
something?
thinking. It was some sort of magnet attachment.
It doesn't seem to have a purpose, but if you take a look at the at the front light, this isn't just molded in and painted over. So maybe the initial concept was that this was going to be an actual light and this would have been a button.
Maybe.
And, and they had to give it up, during production because of cost.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if we had to say, what would we do to this to take it to the next level? I would say if you would have thrown a light in here that you could actually hit, when you put this piece onto it, it would have thrown the light into the eyes and then down into that front wheel, and it would have been really, really cool. And I wouldn't be surprised we've got some really cool customizers in the group, if we don't see somebody try to get a little LED in here and play around with that. But all in all, I'd buy this again. I think it's really great. I think Bob had it. I think the neck is super cool. And shout out to, who's the name of the person with the jaw? Because I never would have...
Brian.
Brian, thank you. I never would have thought to open his mouth. So, I think that's pretty cool, too.
I don't know how many Legends figures are doing this, adding that extra little jaw piece, but I know that the Grimorian Guard, that's the Black Series, what is it, Target exclusive?
Yeah, Target exclusive.
That actually has a jaw that opens up as well. That was a big selling point when they were talking about that at Toy Fair. So this is just, I think they're giving us more of what we want, more articulation, more of the characters we want. Because I think I think they're at a comfortable point where they know that their fans are going to pick up people that the normal collectors aren't going to buy. And I think this is definitely one of those characters. Yeah, he's in the pop culture radar now with a lot of regular people, but this is an old school character. We definitely have the old school the character himself, Johnny Blaze. So this is cool.
So before we move on to Toys R Us, I'm just going to throw this out here. If you're watching this, because I don't know that there is one, if you have a Nick Cage head or something that looks like it, and you put it on this Ghost Rider figure and take a picture, we'll send you a T-shirt and a sticker for sure. I would love to see Nick Cage. I mean, if I could have gotten a Nick Cage head with this, that would have really set it over the top.
Is there a Nick Cage action figure that actually has his face?
Like they do like a National Treasures or something like that?
Maybe a face-off figure?
No, they must have done Ghost Rider figures for that first movie.
They gotta be terrible. That his hair on that is just terrible.
Just last Nick Cage shout out. There's actually a campaign right now where people are CGIing Nick Cage's face onto every actor in movies. So there's some great scenes from Lord of the Rings where Nick Cage is playing every single actor.
Oh.
Check it out online. It's truly epic. So, all right, that is Ghost Rider. If you're only here to check out our unboxings, thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Brian also mentioned that he thinks he talked to somebody who might 3D print a Nicolas Cage head.
Ooh.
Okay.
He's really hoping that he does.
Contact us. We need one. Okay, we'll work that out. For
There was
sure.
also Cody S was talking about how the biggest problems for him with this figure were this
Go ahead, show it, Evan.
was this non-removable flame part.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
And the holes in here, because I think the point is that like you can't have a human version of the bike or before he turns into
Yeah,
Ghost
right.
Rider, because you can't remove some of these orange and flame bits, so you can't have that back and forth.
And again, guys, you know, if there was, you know, a level above this with a few more accessories, what would you pay? You know, there are some Hasbro folks in the group, so you know, keep that in mind.
Paul
So
has-
we have a question from
I've
one of
got
the
a
junkies
question,
in the office.
about the Nick Cage head superimposition. Did they make Justice League better and superimpose his head on Superman?
I don't know if they've done a Nick Cage Justice League update, but if they did,
What would it have? The long hair.
oh, they'd have to do the
Yeah.
Superman, the Nick Cage canceled Superman movie.
Yeah,
Nick
Superman
Cage.
Lives, Nick Cage.
Yes, that would
Ooh,
be-
Now, see, that'd be some work
That would
right
almost
there.
make Justice League worth watching.
Wow.
Would that be a Justice League you'd watch?
You know what?
God.
In that alternate world somewhere where Tim Burton actually got to make a Superman movie, I'd love to see it. Because
And
just
the CG for the mustache wouldn't be as bad.
Tell us in the comments. We've been trying to get Bob to watch Justice League. We're thinking we'll throw it on in the background and do a live, and then just discuss the film, how great Henry Cavill's upper lip looks, how you can tell how much McDonald's Ben Affleck ate between the original shoot to the movie to when they did it in post. And I am a DC guys. I love DC, but we got to be honest here. Okay, it wasn't great.
I think the upper lip looked great.
Evan thinks the upper lip would be great. Evan also has not seen RoboCop, Big Trouble in Little China. I could continue.
I'm getting completely thrown under the
Yes.
bus here.
Go ahead,
Wow.
go ahead, put our list. Go ahead, real quick before we go on. Have fun. Show